So surprisingly enough, we actually got a pretty decent episode from My Hero Academia. I wasn't sure how they were gonna do it. I'm not sure how they were gonna make it interesting, but they actually somehow managed to make it decently enough enjoyable to watch while still leaving a pretty decent cliffhanger at the end of the episode. And the reason why I say it's only really decent is because most of the episode basically consists of all of the 100 students who passed the first part of the provisional licensing exams, basically having to rescue a whole bunch of people whose job is to essentially reenact how a civilian would normally be in a situation that they're currently in right now, which is basically like let's say you're in a city and all the buildings have kind of collapsed and are near each other, and there are a whole bunch of people who are kind of stuck under debris and they can't get out. And basically there are people who are there to essentially just reenact and put on a performance of what they would actually look like, but they're not actual real people. They are trained professionals who are you know who are trained to do it. That's their job, like I just said before. But the only reason why I say it's only decent is because there are a couple of parts at the beginning of the episode where I'm just like, oh yeah, that was funny, oh yeah, that's interesting. And then there was a couple of stuff that has to involve with Uraka and her feelings with Deku, but that immediately gets interrupted and that's kind of put aside for some other time, which I have no idea when that's going to happen. But basically what just continues to happen for the entirety of the rest of the episode is all the 100 students who passed the first part of the exam, most of them being, or all of them, not all of them, but most of them being from class 1A and from UA. So that's basically the gist of what's happening. And they make a couple of like errors and mistakes the entire time, and the entire time those who are actually reenacting a normal civilian who happen to be in the crossfire of like situations that are happening. Let's say if you're in the middle of a street, like I explained earlier, right? It's actually explained thoroughly throughout like all the people who are there, and that's actually how everyone's getting their score. And I thought that was a weird choice, but then again, I guess it makes sense because they are the people who are supposed to be rescued by these soon-to-be, heroes, or soon-to-be like sidekicks to heroes. They're trying to get their licensing. They're supposed to pass their professional licensing exams, so it makes sense why they're doing the score that way. And we actually get a little bit more kind of depth to the subplot that's happening with Todoroki and that one guy from Shigetsu High School, Inessa. That's what his fucking name is. I don't remember. Basically, I guess he just kind of hates him, or he hates his dad. So in turn, it was kind of weird because he basically says his quote is literally, "Well, I'm sorry, son of Endeavor, but I hate you guys," or whatever, right? Because they've changed since back then for I don't know if that's going to come into play like any time in the near future or later in the arc, but we're gonna have to wait and see, I guess. But like I said, the episode continues on. They're doing the score. A couple of characters are having some of their moments, and then it gets to a part in the end of the episode where Gang Orca, one of the pro heroes, is actually filling in the spot for something else that could also potentially happen as a hero if you're trying to save other people, which is basically you have to learn how to multitask. You have to be able to learn to save and rescue a whole bunch of people whilst defending them from potential villains who are in the area and could attack you at any moment. That's the whole point of this, and that's one of the main things that you're supposed to be doing as a hero, which is why there are so many heroes who are made to kind of defend and fight villains, but there are also heroes who are there to rescue normal civilians who can't really defend themselves too much, which is why the pro heroes exist in the first place. So that shouldn't need explaining at all. You all probably understand that regardless. So that's pretty much just where the episode ends. Gang Orca kind of just busts through, and it's basically all of all of these like students' jobs to protect the civilians who are basically faking to be injured, but that's the point. So, and then they also had to fight against Gang Orca and his guys. And fun fact, because they actually say it in the episode, he's number 10 and of all of the strongest heroes. So he's in the top 10 of some of the strongest pros. But he's also the third highest for a hero that looks like a villain, which makes sense. Gang Orca, he has a couple of close-up shots and he's kind of scary looking, not even gonna lie. So that's pretty much just where the episode ends. It ends off with the cliffhanger just right there and then, and we're gonna have to wait until the next coming weeks for when we can actually continue this, this arc in the series, because the next episode is, essentially kind of just a special episode. They call it a special episode called Save the World with Love. And I don't know what this episode's all about. I don't know if this is in the manga, but basically this is just, I guess, filler for, so that way, the guys who are creating these episodes have time to, create the next episode or something. I don't know. Not really sure why they're doing this. I have to probably do a little bit more research as to why they're doing this. But if I figure it out, I figured it out. I'm not gonna have time to put it in the video to, to tell you guys what's up. But we're gonna get an episode next week. It's just not going to be continuing what we're watching currently right now, sadly. So if you don't want to watch next week's episode, I totally understand. But I'm going to watch it regardless. I'm still going to talk about it, anyways, because I actually am kind of curious as to what the hell is actually going on next week. So anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.